Ladies, we need to talk. There are way too many women out here dating men who are just not worthy of our time. They are straight up disrespectful. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The men who watch porn like it's their full-time job. The men who call you insecure for tripping over them following OnlyFans models. The ones who think locker room talk is funny, who sexualize every single woman that walks in front of them. And I get it. We've all been there. We've been told, oh, this behavior is normal. Oh, boys will just be boys. This is just a guy thing. But the reality is that these behaviors are not normal. You don't have to accept this. And yet so many women are still putting up with it. Why? Hi everyone, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here to Level Up, a self-improvement podcast where we talk all about self-improvement, personal development, self-help, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. Today, I want to talk about why we need to raise our standards, why we need to stop entertaining these shitty men. And before y'all get mad at me, I'm not saying every man, I'm just saying these particularly shitty men, like the ones that fit the criteria that I mentioned earlier. If that's you, well, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I do mean you're a shitty man. And no, I don't think that you deserve a woman by your side. But if that is not you, if you don't fit the criteria, then obviously I am not talking about you, okay? Not saying all men, just saying some men. So I feel like we have been conditioned from a very, very young age, whether it be by TV, the media, social media, our grandparents, our moms. We've just been taught that certain behaviors are just how men are. Men don't have to be this way. I know there are a lot of good men out there who don't watch porn, don't follow OnlyFans models, who respect women, who respect their mothers, who respect their siblings, who are able to have simply platonic female relationships and respect them. You don't have to settle for somebody that is just continuously disrespecting your boundaries, who is belittling you, who is making you feel like shit, who is making you feel unworthy. And I have been there, I have been like, oh, well, that's just how he is. Oh, but he's really good to me in other ways, and blah, 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 blah. Trying to convince myself that this man wasn't a piece of shit when he was, and he needed to mature. And with that level of emotional intelligence and maturity, he deserved to be left the fuck alone. But my dumbass, my younger dumbass, was just like, oh, but I can fix him. Oh, but he's so nice to me. Oh, but he cares about me. When a grown man watches porn excessively, and from my experience, they have warped their perception of sex so that it starts feeling like something that they do to women instead of something that they do with a woman. And that is very dangerous territory. It paves the way for the belittling of women. Oh yeah, I fucked that bitch. What do you mean you fucked that? You guys had sex? You both had consensual sex? A lot of people are like, oh, well, that's just how we talk, blah, 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 you guys are so sensitive. That speech is stemming from somewhere, right? The way that we speak, it stems from our thought patterns, from our beliefs. And it is so dangerous when you start thinking that you are doing things to a woman instead of with a woman, because sex is meant to be enjoyed by both parties. And with the OnlyFans models, from my experience, again, it's just my experience, following so many models, and these men start viewing them as just solely sex objects, because obviously they're sex workers and they're not showcasing other beautiful traits that I'm sure that they have. They're only showcasing their bodies. In my opinion, if somebody is able to buy a bunch of subscriptions, there is a deeper issue of objectification going on. And that does not just end at the strip club, the OnlyFans page, whatever it is, that goes on to the women in their real life, their coworkers, their friends, their partners. That same objectification is carried on to that. Like all the people that have tried to harass me, assault me, like they pay for these subscriptions or they watch porn a lot and they take pride in that. Feels all linked. And locker room talk, I don't even feel like I need to explain that, but I did get oh, that's just how men are comment in my last video. So it's just like, why the fuck are we still like allowing for that to go on? I understand if it's people we have no control over, but if it's somebody that we have control over, whether we want to allow them access to us, our boyfriends, our friends, if we are saying, yeah, you can still be my friend, yeah, you can still be my boyfriend, yeah, you can still be my fuck buddy, whatever, even though you use this type of conversation, even though you objectify women, even though you think belittling women is funny, is cute, what does that say about us? That is not funny. That is not normal. That shows a lack of respect and empathy and a disregard for the women, the gender as a whole, right? I don't go around with my group of girlfriends, oh yeah, that guy probably is packing or whatever. That's weird, right? That is a human being that you were talking about like that you are belittling, that you are just making a piece of meat for your own pleasure. So I don't understand why we are still tolerating and allowing people access to us when they are just so disrespectful towards women like that. Because God only knows what your little boyfriend, your little fuck buddy is saying about you behind your back. You think that shit ends with you? No. If somebody is so comfortable disrespecting women like that, guarantee you he is just as comfortable disrespecting you like that. And that shit wears on your concept of self-worth. Because you might even start believing the bullshit that he's spewing out. Why do you think we have so many like pick me girls or whatever, right? They adopt those mindsets. They hear their husbands friends joking around and like, yeah, all these girls, oh yeah, all these bitches, blah, 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 right? They start believing that. And those women then start hating on women as a whole. And it's like, girl, you're a woman. Or you might let these ideas just bring you so down that you're like, you still have respect for other women, but then when it comes to you, you don't think that you deserve better. You don't think that you can do any better. You think that you're ugly. You think that you're worthless and all this bullshit. Why? Because you've been hearing that. Your husband or your boyfriend has just been spewing all this bullshit, all this nonsense, and you were, for a while, you were like, no, that's not true. But if you're consistently hearing that, yeah, you're gonna start believing that shit. And at the core of every healthy relationship, it's respect. No relationship can be healthy if y'all don't respect each other. So if you are with somebody who is just showing you that they have no respect for women and you are a woman, or actually showing you that they have no respect for you, that is a one-way ticket to emotional harm, emotional abuse, trust issues, dissatisfaction, low confidence, low self-esteem. It's just a one-way ticket to fucking hell on earth. Let's be for real. And you need to get out of there before you feel stuck, or better yet, avoid those types of relationship completely. Run the other way as soon as you start seeing the red flags. Being alongside a person that makes you feel alone, so much worse than actually being alone. I found 3 reasons why I believe that we allow this behavior, right? That we still stand by a man who treats us like shit. The first one, I already talked about it, societal conditioning. Because we listen to rap songs, because we hear it in pop culture, social media, of all these guys being scummy, all these guys being douchebags, we think, oh, it's just normal, it's whatever, people are still getting married, people are still having kids, every guy is probably like this, it's fine, I'll live. Not every single guy is like that. No. Yet, are there emotionally immature men? Are there stupid ass men? Are there douchebags? Yes. Do people still go with them, date them? Yes. But that doesn't have to be your reality. Then we have this fear of being picky. The men say it, oh, you're so picky, you're too ugly to be picky, you're gonna die alone, and you're gonna blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'd rather fucking die alone than settle for less than I deserve. You are not picky for wanting basic respect, honesty, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. You are simply setting standards that reflect your self-worth. And if men cannot meet that basic baseline, then leave them the fuck alone. Like, I don't know who started spewing this lie that happiness can only be achieved if you get married, if you start having kids, if blah, 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 blah. Like, this is all bullshit. If you, yeah, it could be beautiful, but if you end up marrying somebody who constantly belittles you, who uses you as the butt of their joke, who treats you like shit, who abuses you, and then your kids end up growing up like that, or your kids end up being hurt because of it. Unfortunately, it's the truth. It happens. Do you think that future will be the happiest one that you can obtain? Or do you think the one where you solely just take care of yourself, you're independent, you have fun on your own, you have your little girlfriends? Like, which future do you think, right? Think this future has the potential to be beautiful and amazing, and if that's what you want, by all means go for it, but make sure you go for it with the right man. Make sure that man shows you that he is worthy of that future with you, because a lot of women, we're settling for shitty men just so that we can get that future, just so that we could get the house and the kids and the whatever. But the men that we are choosing to have that future with should be fucking single, should die alone. So get it out of your mind that the only way that you can be happy is if you get a husband and some kids. That is not the only way you can be happy. That is a way that you can be happy, but it is also a way to be extremely miserable if you don't pick the right partner. And so these are just some of the things, some of the ways that I recognize if the man that I am dating or the men that I'm dating are worthy of me. And I'm sure there's so much more qualities, but I feel like these are just like the basic ones. Number one, if he respects and sets his own boundaries, if he values your opinions and your feelings and takes them into consideration. Because this just shows that you are more than just eye candy to him, that you are more than just like a pleasure box to him. It just shows that you're an actual human being to him. If he wants to hear your thoughts, your perceptions, if he actually wants to get to know you, support your dreams, and connect with you in an emotional and spiritual way. Those are green flags, okay? Not if he just compliments you like crazy. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love your body. Blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, you're hot. Okay, what else? If he uplifts you and defends you, if he respects other women, like he recognizes that women should be treated with respect, it doesn't matter who they are. And I think just recognizing that real love is built on a foundation of respect, trust, admiration, genuine connection, like recognizing, being able to tell the difference between real love and infatuation and lust is really important. Like infatuation and lust are really tricky because they can feel very intense, but it's fleeting. Once, you get over the honeymoon phase, it's like, okay, well, why else are you here? On the other hand, when you know that that somebody loves you and actually loves you for who you are inside, that's pretty consistent. Like there's always just like this respect, there's always this emotional maturity, emotional closeness. It's pretty consistent. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a super hot outfit, it doesn't matter if you did your makeup that day, it doesn't matter if you're 1 month versus 1 year into the relationship. Like it should be pretty consistent. And that's what's kind of confusing, because a lot of us, when we're not healed, we tend to chase those like intense and very powerful feelings of like lust and infatuation and newness. And then when we get like the calmness of actual love, actual care, genuine kindness, we're like, oh, this is too calm. I need something a little bit more. And what helped me is just like seeing a lot of videos of just like trying to heal myself, recognizing my self-worth, loving myself, and watching a lot of videos of, green flags were versus red flags, especially when I was a lot younger and when I couldn't even tell the difference. That helped me out a lot, but it set me up to have more pleasurable dating experiences. It set me up to have relationships that were built on genuine love and not toxic and just very healthy. And it also helped me walk away when I noticed the tide shifting, when I noticed things were no longer healthy for me, when I noticed that things were no longer helping me grow. It allowed me to walk away from that situation. And it's so important that we as women learn to stay clear of the shitty men, because when we start dating, and when we have families with people, like, we are extremely vulnerable. We are in an extremely vulnerable state, like there are so many DV situations. And I just really want to see all the sexist, misogynistic men be left the fuck alone, because they don't deserve us. So my camera died, so I'm recording on my phone now. But yeah, that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video inspired you to seek out healthier, more fulfilling relationships and to leave the toxic, abusive ass men the fuck alone, because they do not deserve you. And I hope this video also inspired you to just really just seek out your self-worth, to become a more confident woman. Do not forget to like it if it did. Comment down below any advice you have for all the other girlies who may be struggling with this, any advice that you've learned, especially if you're like an older viewer, so we're a little bit more younger and naive, so any advice could help. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it'll help me out tremendously. And also, I just really want to stay connected. But yeah, until next time, bye.